This game is totally engrossing if you are a fan of space programs, which I am. Hello guys, today we review a new game that's called Solar Expanse. It is more a matter of logistics and research than colony building. Yes, you build colonies, but not by making rooms and laying out floor plans. Instead, you build a unit and bring in the workers. You supply them with supplies or give them carbon and water with hydroponic garden to grow their own. No ethnic diet, paturating are involved. Beds, tables, sofas, and toilets are left up to your imagination, being summarized under habitats of various sorts. The opponents are AI. Other companies and not diving by nationalities all thought is inspired by some of the company logos. Terraforming of the heavenly bodies is including all thought I have not yet gotten to the state. You can mine asteroids and even crash them into planets. Also, again, I have not done the latter. It sounds like fun thought. The time scales are realistic, are the orbits. Try the unit, some quirk, because the game is only in the early access, I'm not having too much trouble with its thought. There is a demo which is slightly behind the current version. Try to demo if you understand whether to try the real game. The concept is great. Managing colonies with realistic fight time pans, setting up supply lines between planets and asteroids, not even planet everything you might need. Eventually terraforming planets to make them more habitable. There are some issues that have yet to be worked out. Right now, if you want to build a ship in orbit, you have manually transfer all the resources there. While it's not difficult, it does get a little tedious. Similarly, for getting stuff to other planets, some mission may want to build an outpost, for example. You cannot just easily add the resource needed for an outpost to a mission, you need to manually add every resources. I think can use some improvement. The AI is also lackluster. It doesn't seem to be doing much of anything. It happily buy a resource sought for what? I don't know. I also run into some issues with cyclical missions. Ship that should be able to carry enough fuel for a road trip will complain that there is no fuel at their destination. Acquiring fuel in colonies where you produce fuel is fine, but on some random asteroid or between Mars and Phobos, it becomes pretty hard to do cyclical mission between such location because the ship will refuse to bring enough fuel for a road trip, manually performing their trip for fine. I could be missing some option somewhere. However, if such an option exists, it could be made clearer, I think. I do hope that as development goes on, things will get fleshed out, more issues will get fixed. There is a great potential here and I am having a good time despite the issue I run into. As they were not game breaking nor did they ruin the experience, I'm excited there was guys gone. Very fun, setting up infrastructure around the solar system has very real consequences in the game and getting proper flows of materials is very important. I think the game experience is done fairly well too for near future sci-fi. Orbital transfer nuclear spaceship slowly building out colonies, the solar system visual add a lot here as well. The game very heavily rewards forward thinking and planning. Getting around beyond Luna takes months or even years, so you have to be careful. Perhaps bringing a radio stab generated to Mars Razor like in Solar is a good idea. The game very heavily rewards forward thinking and planning. The control system is basically the tutorial, so even thought there is decent amount going on. It basically gives you a guide of progression to the next step, and honestly it's the right way to do a tutorial. You hop right into playing the game instead of reading some guide or getting overly hand-landed. It does feel a little punishing to not like the control given that there is so much money, but even being razor aggressive in my second play thought, I didn't run out of money. More QL features are absolutely necessary. It takes like 20-15 clicks to stand a spaceship anywhere. The first few times is really great, but at 200 times it's getting really grating whenever I need to send 200 tons of metal, 20 tons of rare airs, and few other choice items to Luna. Send you materials up to Earth's orbit with the 8-ton capacity launcher and the U spaceship to more stuff around. Because otherwise you're limited to 100 transfer at a time. There's also thing where I need X materials to Y building, but I have to go back and check every time and I can give it pull it up on different menu. Combined with 15 clicks to launch one crafting gets pretty bad. They're repeated missions, but they don't seem to allow you to define specifically the amount to carry of each item. There are two music tracks in the game, one for the main menu and the one for the game itself. and it gets a little repetitive, while especially scenes like 2, maybe 2.5 minute loop, not a huge deal enough. Game is obviously incomplete. People say it's basically a demo, but I think people expect a lot of demos, but I played the demo first, it ends if you get humans on Mars. There appears to be decent amount of content, but it's obviously unfinished. Not really unexpected, but not expect things to be finished. There is a lack of polish. Type as additional commas where there needs to be on so forth. Additional toolship at certain place would be nice. Thank you for watching guys, and I hope to see you later my friends. Goodbye.